What's up guys, my name is Gabe and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. We do have a Tuesday night edition of the Trojan update for you. There's a lot of news going around in the world of USC. We got some recruiting news tonight. We got some injury updates. We have a wild story coming out of Ann Arbor. Also had one of you ask me who my favorite USC content creators are. And there's so many talented people in this space. I always love when I get a chance to talk about them. So stick around until the end of the video to see that. And of course, before we get into it, guys, we are pushing on towards 10,000 subs. We're getting closer and closer as every day passes. Cannot wait to hit that milestone, and we'll be doing a giveaway when we do hit it. So make sure you subscribe here and follow me on Twitter so you can see when I drop that post. Thank you guys so much for being here, and let's get into this update. All right, so first things first, let's talk about the injury updates for your Trojans. Now, of course, we had Mason Cobb, who didn't play in that Utah State game due to an injury that he picked up in practice. And while Cobb Gentry did play in that game, he didn't practice all of last week during the bye week. But both of them are fully cleared and back at practice. That is great news for USC's linebacker core, and great for the team as a whole. Going up against this version of Michigan, with Alex Orji at quarterback, we could be looking at a triple option sort of offense. It could be that bad. I mean, they could be running it pretty much the entire game. And I put this on Twitter, but I do fully believe that our base defense is going to be a standard 4-3. Having EMA, Cobb, and Gentry all out there on the field at the same time. I thought those guys did a really good job against the run against LSU when they were all out there together. And in this game, that's obviously going to be a necessity. So having them back fully healthy and rested is a very good thing for this defense. We do have a lot of options there at linebacker. You have a guy like Rajon Davis, whose speed could actually be a big asset in this game. You have a guy like Desmond Stevens that's very physically talented, just doesn't have that experience yet. So some options there if we have to rotate, but very good to have all three of those guys back and healthy. Now moving over to the recruiting trail. Former USC target and recent Oklahoma commit Floyd Boucard has decommitted from the Sooners. This is a 6'3", 315-pound interior defensive lineman from Miami, Florida, class of 2025 kid. An absolute beast of a player. We were in on this kid up until the point that he committed to Oklahoma. But as you see here from 247 Sports Insider Tom Loy, he says, one source told me today, watch out for USC. So again, Boucard has decommitted from Oklahoma and is now fully in play for USC. A lot of people are thinking he's going to go to USC. I mean, we're looking really good in this one. If you're a defensive lineman, seeing the improvement that our D-line has taken over at SC these last few weeks, I mean, Coach Henny's the real deal. Why would you not want to come to USC and play for a coach of that caliber? And some of the insiders over at On3 have even crystal balled Boucard to commit to USC. So yeah, looking very, very good for this one. Boucard's a hell of a player. He'd be a massive addition to the 25 class. And speaking of the 25 class, tomorrow is the day that 5-star wideout Jerome Miles is going to announce his commitment. That will be at 11 a.m. Pacific time over on the 247 YouTube channel. This is as big time a prospect as you're going to see at the wideout position. One of those program changers, instant plug and play kind of guys. 6'3", 220 track athlete. He can do it all for you. Feeling extremely confident about this one, so make sure you keep it locked in here on the channel as I will have full coverage of that commitment tomorrow, assuming he goes to USC. Next up, USC is putting a minor tweak on the uniforms for the game at Michigan, and I would assume that this will carry throughout the entirety of the 2024 season. So you see our traditional black cleats here, but they put the little Greek key tag on the back of them. Very subtle touch, but I think it's very cool, looks awesome on them. Does feel like we're inching closer and closer to getting some sort of alternate uniform, probably a throwback. That's what I would be in favor of. But yeah, new touch on the cleats, looks super clean. Next up, we have a crazy story coming out of Ann Arbor that I really think just shows how Sherrone Moore is not ready for this kind of job. This article is from Jacob Singer over on Maize and Brew. It says, Michigan players learned Alex Orji was named starting quarterback from the media, not Sherrone Moore. Michigan head coach Sherrone Moore told the media on Monday that Alex Orji would be the starting quarterback against USC on Saturday. Turns out the players weren't filled in on the news until the media asked them for their thoughts. And you see he gives two examples here. The first one being from running back Donovan Edwards, saying, that's the first time that's been brought to my attention. And also safety Makari Page saying, I didn't even know he was named the starter. So yeah, the team gets a chance to meet here afterwards. Absolutely wild for your team to be so out of the loop that they don't know who the starting quarterback is and they have to learn it from the media. I mean, that's beyond just a rookie mistake. That's crazy. If you're a player in that locker room, how does that make you feel finding out that news from the media and not your head coach? This could be a very big deal in the Michigan locker room, or it could be nothing. At the very least, it's very, very odd for a head coach at this caliber of program to be acting this way. I was already not a big Sherrone Moore fan, and I'll go more into that in the Michigan game preview that'll be out Thursday morning. But man, this just really adds to that and really shows his lack of preparedness for this level of job, in my opinion. So yeah, very strange, but we'll see what kind of impact that actually has. And to finish up here, I got a comment from Walker saying, curious if you have any other USC content creators to recommend. I absolutely do. There are so many talented creators in the Trojan space. I mean, in terms of schools and the content creators around them, USC's up there with anybody. on every single platform too. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We have so many independent creators doing their own thing, and it's fantastic to see, and it's what really inspired me to start going in the beginning about a year and a half ago. So starting off here, we have my man Tim Prangley. He's at Twitter at Tim_Prangley. Tim and I have become pretty close friends over the last few years, with both of us doing YouTube, both of us being diehard Trojan fans. And man, let me tell you right now, no one works harder in this space than Tim Prangley. He's writing about USC over at USA Today at Trojans Wire. He's running the USC Voice of College Football channel. He has his own channel that he's going to start uploading to at some point called Trojan Conquest. He and his co-host Matt Zemek, who's also from Trojans Wire, do the Conquest Call-In Show over at the USC Voice of College Football channel. Truly the best live USC show on YouTube as a whole. There's a lot of call-in shows where people call in and they get booted off really fast. It's almost like it's an inconvenience for the host to have people call in. It's not like that on this show at all. If you're looking for a place where you can actually have your opinion heard, this is 100% the show for you. So yeah, love Tim. Go give him a follow. All of his stuff is linked down below in the description. Next up, we have my man Will from Founders Edits. He actually made the Trojan Blade sword logo that you see all the time on this channel. Probably the most talented person in the USC space by a country mile. His graphics are always the best. Also one of the best people you'll come across as well. So make sure you give him a follow. So many positive things to say about Will. Next up, my man 916 Trojan, aka Sacramento Trojan, over on Twitter. One of the funniest people on the entire app, as passionate as they come, and again, just one of the best people you'll come across in the USC Trojan space. His post-game rants are hilarious, and obviously a big-time Trojan fan that goes out of his way to help the program as much as he possibly can. Next up, over on YouTube, we have my guys at the Light the Torch podcast, B. Jones, Gunner, Raul, and my man Blackie Chan. Absolutely love those guys, all diehard Trojans. This is a podcast made by the fans for the fans, 100%. You see that in their tagline, and it's 100% true. 4 of the coolest guys you meet, couldn't be nicer. And when you go and subscribe to their channel, know you're subscribing to true Trojan fans. Absolutely love those guys. Back on Twitter, we of course have the GOAT, Fight on Rusty. I'm sure all of you already know him. The funniest, wittiest, best content in the USC space by a mile. When you think about USC content online, the first name you think of is Fight on Rusty. He absolutely kills it. And not only is he funny and a diehard Trojan fan, but he's a wonderful guy as well. Make sure you go give him a follow. And lastly, we have my dude, USC Nico. Absolutely love Nico, one of the coolest dudes in the entire space. Again, like all the other guys I've mentioned, diehard Trojan fan, and he's super plugged in into the world of USC recruiting as well. A great guy, great page. Highly recommend you go check him out and give him a follow as well. So that's all we have time for. There are so many. I feel so bad that I can't name everybody. There's guys like Carter Sports, Trojan Football Fan, so many awesome creators in this space. Truly love the community that's been built up around USC football online. Made so many cool connections through this channel. Always love seeing what you guys have to say about whatever I'm talking about in these videos. I look at all the other channels' comment sections that talk about USC, and of course I am a little biased, but when you see this comment section and see some of the conversations you guys are having, the people in this comment section get bald. That's all I'm trying to say. If you did happen to enjoy this Trojan update though, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for being here. You're all awesome, and as always, take care and fight on.